All right, guys. Welcome to episode 61.
Season premiere.
What? I will punch you in the head.
Episode 1.
Today we don't have one of our stupid little bits at the beginning. Because Enrique was late, and then he spent extra time stretching. And I tried to keep good posture because I've realized some of my minor injuries, left shoulder and right knee, come from me either sitting on my right leg too long or supporting myself on the left arm too long. So I'm going to keep really good posture throughout the whole episode.
I thought you were looking at something else there.
Yeah, I'm doing like one of these. All right. Guys, so today what we have is we're going to go right into it. We're going to go into leg lasso, okay? It's a question that came from Sasha Chistov in Russia. He came to my Czech camp last year. We had a great time. Funny story, guys. I will tell you when there's a natural break. We had people from US, we had people from Germany, we had people from Czech, we had people from Russia. So it was an international crew. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, let's go over. He asked if we could talk about Lasso Guard and, leg lasso rather, and what are some of the pluses, minuses, and considerations to have. Okay? So let's look at it right away. So, guys, with the gi, me personally, I rather than getting 2 sleeve grips, a lot of times I'll get a collar and sleeve. So this is the lasso, okay? So we'll go over this a little bit later on. This is a very strong grip. Me personally, I don't like it so much. And the reason for that is if you can, I get too wedded to the grip. If I lose the grip, I don't have a whole lot of things. So we're going to go over what happens. I personally prefer this grip. Yeah, this is a good grip. Yeah, we're going to go over that later. If you guys know where that grip is going to go, let me know. I'm a poet, I didn't even know it. All right? So, but let's start with the traditional grip. What you want to do, guys, is when you swim, you want to have a strong grip on the sleeve, right? Some people like the pistol grip. I personally like 4 fingers in, thumb out, and I like to have my second hand on the collar. If I can go on the hand, that's great. But a lot of times the guys, he's not going to let you do that. All right. Now my foot is not kind of loose, because if it's loose, Enrique can just punch his bicep, and I start to lose it. This is one of the things we're going to go over, because now your hips are getting crushed. All right. So when you swim, guys, you have to flex out your ankle, but once you get here, guys, you flex it in. So once you get there, you want to have tension. I have a lot of tension. And I will take it out on you. So guys, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to drop him. Okay? Even if your guard gets passed, you can still drop him. All right? So let's look at it from the different angles. So once I get this, I don't really care if his legs get past mine. All right? So I can try to drop him when he's still in my guard. Okay? Once I get up on top, guys, I will keep this. No, you can't take your arm back. Is your shin okay? My shin is okay, but your bicep is about to explode.
No, my guns.
Your guns. So guys, this is a bicep crush. I don't always look, if it's there, I take it. If it's not there, I don't worry about it, because sometimes people are too concerned about the bicep crush and miss the other parts, the other part, which is the main part, is to try to dominate the position. All right, so let's look at it again. So a lot of times, even if I get this grip, if it's strong, I know he's going to try to move my right leg out. So I may sometimes even help him with it. All right? And what I'm looking to do is flare out my shin. So you can see how that's just already dropping him. Now, I need a little bit of assistance here. So you can grab the pant legs. I just like to go under. And now the assistant comes from my shin. So it depends where his angle is. Right now he's perpendicular, so my shin can push into him. If he goes more into the guard pass. It's more of a different. Guys, as soon as I get here, look at it. What Enrique's doing. He's already grabbing my arm. Now, depends how strong that grip is. If it's not strong, if I can swim it in, I will. Oh, we can have a duel now. Yes, we have a duel. The duel is if he can arm lock me before I can bicep crush him. So I want to swim that arm out. As soon as I know he's going, I want to swim, in this case, my right arm back in. Say hello to my lip. So as this is going on, right? I'm looking to swim this in. If he has a very strong grip, I will keep my hand on his knee and I will bring my leg to make sure that because right now, if my arm flies, he can start to arm lock me. So I wanted to have my leg close by so I could push his hips down so he cannot control my elbow. Once I'm here, guys, Enrique's smart enough to swim out his arm. That's okay. I self-score myself 2 points for the sweep. Possibly 3, depends for top cross side. What do I get, 3?
4, yeah.
So again, get your grips. Even if he passes your guard and his hips are pretty low, by flaring out my left leg, I get a little bit of assistance here with the leg. And what I'm doing with this, I'm not pushing him. I'm bringing his leg diagonally across, and then as he starts to fly, I change direction a little bit and swim. Oh, are we doing this? Oh, we can't do heel hook, guys.
Tap.
That was a knee bar. It look, huh?
To the replay. That was a heel hook.
It was a knee bar, guys. No heel hook. It truly was. So, do we have any questions or do we have any answers where that second grip is going to go to?
We have check-ins from Tokyo, Japan. We have Israel, India, Netherlands, California, Renzo Gracie in Detroit. We also have Venezuela, Latin America, Germany.
Sounds good. So we have 4 continents. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I lost count. I think the Australians look at this tomorrow. I think it's midnight there.
And we have Moises from the Academy checking in for New Jersey.
Yes, New Jersey strong. All right, so do we have any answers on where that grip's going to go? Keep thinking, guys. You should know by now.
Nothing as of yet, but you could
As
mention the
Enrique
story.
is twisting his newly found mustache like the evil genius. Where you, what do you got in the works? All right, so
Ryan D'Souza says bicep crush.
no, that's my backup plan. Good guess though. So when I bring this leg over, right? Sometimes I will start out. So notice that this time Enrique kept this. If he keeps his elbow in, it's hard for me to hook in and start. You know, I'm starting to put myself at a little bit of a risk here. So what I'll do is instead of attacking his balance right away. I'm kind of putting my foot closer to his body and more lined up with him. Because right now I'm threatening on two fronts. I'm going to threaten with the first one, but also threatening with what's going to happen to him once I change my grip. All right? But before we go there, guys, give you a grip on my belt. That's okay. So, guys, understand that my right leg right now is kind of useless because he's, especially with the gi, but even no gi, he can still control it. So right now, go ahead. So what happened is I missed the opportunity. When that happens, guys, I'm going to invert and go into omoplata. All right? So as I was setting up to attempt a sweep, all right, I didn't set it up properly, and I didn't feel imbalance on his part in time. By him controlling, in this case, my right leg, he got around my legs to the point where I could not, because my weight was too far to my right, I could not flare out my left leg enough to sweep him. Okay? When that happens, you have to recognize the fact that your guard is getting passed. You still have one chance, and that is to try to invert and just roll into an omoplata position. All right, so let's look at it again. So this time, I want to do this. Yeah, baby, you fly. This is what I want to do. But maybe I got caught sleeping. You know, what am I going to have for lunch? So what I'll do is, guys, I'll kick my leg through and invert. When I come out here, guys, I'm already attacking. There's a good chance he's going to, if he rolls, I didn't get up in time, that's fine. I'm going to, now I wind up in the sweep position to begin with. That's okay, guys. As you all know, when I attack a submission from the guard, if I fail with the submission, but I get the sweep, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. Ooh. I'm going to get the submission. Okay. I'm not going to get this submission. An angle dome, guys. So, when your legs are passed, we talked about before, is even if your legs are passed, you still have the opportunity to sweep. What is the difference between the first one and the second one? It's a pure judgment call, guys, on your part. So, I can still sweep. I lost a sweep. Okay? Can somebody tell me what was the difference between the first and second one? I still can attempt a bicep crush right here, guys. But most guys, when they get caught in it, how many times did I catch you in that one? Once?
No, not many.
So, you know, once you catch somebody in that bicep crush from the guard, chances are they're not going to get caught in it, you know, if it's a high-level guy, again, for a while or if ever. So that's usually a mark of a good black belt. You may get caught once or twice or a couple times that day, and it's, okay, not going to happen the next time because now you know what's coming. So it's a possibility, but that's not a possibility that you can rely on a long-term basis. You might catch your training partner with a few times, and then you're going to have to move on to something else. Can somebody tell me what was the difference between this first and second one? And why did I have to choose to invert on the second one?
GM Baseball says he stretched.
So, I can sweep. I cannot sweep. So right now I have two options. Right now Enrique's holding on to my gi. So the second option, which is inverting into an omoplata, it's going to be a little bit harder because he's holding on to my gi. So I have the bicep crush here.
Tap.
But the other possibility is this. Yes, you're gonna get twisted. No. Yes. No. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tap. Guys, you can see how particularly gruesome this is.
Tap.
Which one you tap it on?
I don't know. Everything.
I'm Enrique's stretching coach right now.
Torture coach.
Adolfo Fronda says, love that name, Mango Dome. Sometimes I just walk around saying that all day.
Mango Dome. Yeah, I know. It's a good name.
And a few answers that we got is Jody says, first is more dominant position. Second one, they may not get submitted. Richardo says they lift the lifted leg. Lots of Pierce says Enrique went to the north-south position. And Fear Memory says position of his hips. Anand says the grip over the triceps. And John Grappler says you lost the angle.
Guys, a little bit of each. The closest one was the position of the hips. So when his hips are sort of leaning, kind of towards me, I can still sweep. Even if I fail, in this scramble, it gives me an opportunity on changing that grip, okay? Once he gets past it and his hips are either square or tilting towards my feet, you have to now do something else. Either go for the bicep crush or attack the omoplata.
Tap.
Does everybody understand what we're talking about?
And in regards to your question earlier as to where that position may lead to, and lots of Pierce says split guard.
Oh, yeah. That's it, guys. That's exactly it. All right. Sasha. Guys, I'm going to tell you the funny story now. If you are watching and you have questions, put them in. Not in Russian. Mike cannot read Russian. I can barely read Russian, but I don't know what it means. Google Translator. Okay? So if I don't answer, if there's some specific questions you have, Google Translator. So guys, we're doing this camp in Czech, 3-day camp. I do it every single year, mid-June. This year it's going to be probably not, but because of the restrictions. But I've done it for about 7 years. It's a wonderful experience, a historical country, a lot of fun. So we had people like from 4 or 5 different countries. And Sasha is a very good black belt from Russia. And he asked me a question, but he asked in Russian. So we have this kind of chain of translation, and I provide an answer. So my answer was provided in English to Thomas Buschkamp from Germany, who then translated into German to one of his students, Alex, who speaks Russian. So it went from English to German to Russian through 4 people. By the time it got back to to Sasha, the answer was usually da. Yes, Why did I spend 5 minutes talking about this? But we all spoke the universal language of jiu-jitsu. So, anyways, just 10 minutes. All right. So, guys, let's go back to the inversion. So, you have to pay attention to at what stage of him going around the guard pass are you in? Do you choose the sweep or attempted sweep? Or do you choose the inversion? All right. So, again, as he's going around, he didn't go around. He didn't go around. I'm staying with it. Sometimes you can sweep the other way, guys, the other direction. So actually, notice that he's already tilting his hips because he knows he's vulnerable to sweep to my left. So as he's doing this, you can go the other direction as well, guys. Don't just kind of rely that everything's going to go to your left. He's countering it right away. He's countering it too much. Guess what? I'm going to my right. Okay? He has a strong, keep it. Very strong grip on my right leg. That's okay. That's okay. Well, we have to play this out. And we have to play it out. I know we're too close, Mike.
Also watching from the academy, we have Jody, Moises, TJ, Eric Darnstead, Steve Rogala. We also have Cosmo, Yensi. Who else?
What's up, guys? Guys, I know you're watching the Zoom classes, but don't hesitate to ask questions here. And I know some of you are watching it later on because you're working, because in the U.S., it's, well, on the East Coast right now, it's 10:30 a.m., so some of the people are working. So you watch it later. That's okay. Put your questions down, okay?
And a question that we have from Snow White 9738.
Must be Instagram.
YouTube.
Okay.
Right. Is there any reason why Enrique would try to pass to the side of the lasso, to the side that the lasso is on? If so, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, you're flying. That's what I'm doing. Actually, if he tries to, what I'll try to do is switch to the split guard. Okay? That's actually a good segue right into that now. Because that's actually, when I use lasso, leg lasso, I will go straight into split guard, and you have a lot of associated attacks there. So if I feel there's danger that he's going to go to my left, what I'll do is kick this leg through. Tap. And then I have a lot of associated attacks from there. You know, if you don't know what they are, guys, go to the split guard episode. Adolfo Ferranda put up an index. It's, you know, he puts it in the comment section. Do we have it? Yes, I remember. This is why we made it episode 50. Guys, the index is on YouTube. All right, guys, give me 2 minutes, please. I'll be right back.
No. Okay.
All right. Episode. I will literally punch you in the head if you start throwing numbers around. So, guys, the index of all the techniques is on usually under every episode or almost every episode on Facebook. but it's on YouTube in the episode 50. That's why we chose 50. By the way, we did 50-50 in episode 60. I just realized it this morning. We covered 50-50 in episode 60. We should have done 50-50 for episode 100. Hopefully we won't get that far. All right, guys, so let's move on. Mike, you have a question? Because we only have a few more minutes to cover this stuff.
Snow White 9738 says, thank you, Mike, Enrique, and Professor. This is the old YouTube account. It's Anthony T from the Academy.
Oh, yeah. All right, we got questions. All right. So, guys, so again, this is actually, I want to go over one more thing, but when I play, so even no-gi, so even if we have no-gi, I will do this right away. I'm threatening, so guys, when you do this, you're threatening the bicep crush to begin with. Gi, no-gi, doesn't matter. So I know he will, yeah, it hurts. He will swim it out. As he's swimming out, say hello to my big friend, not a little friend anymore. He grew up. All right, so guys, again, when you change the grip from the sleeve to the elbow, it becomes a much more powerful weapon. That is my preferred grip on lasso, okay? Sasha, I hope that answers your questions. Let's switch the topic a little bit more now to what happens if your hips get crushed. This is the biggest risk when you play lasso, that your legs get crushed towards one side. If you have a good strong back, you could always try to invert. Now, I always will try to invert, but sometimes the guy does too good of a job to really crush you. So, go back. If there's a little bit of room, I can still invert. Yeah, man, I'm back. Okay? If there's room between it, like between his torso and legs for me to spin through. You understand what I'm saying? So let's look at it from this direction. Okay. So as he's crushing, if I can spin through here, I have something going on here. Oh, I know you're getting too well. But sometimes you're just a little bit late and that doesn't happen. So he closes that gap. Oh, so now guys, it's going to be much harder for me to invert. It would still be useful for me to try to get to my knees. I know what he's doing right now. He's preparing to hunt for my back. So I already know what he's doing, so go ahead. So I'm already thinking. He's squeezing me quite well, but I'm pretty comfortable there. But the reality is this is a battle, all right? All right, so I lost my train of thought.
Go ahead, sweep.
I got to sweep, yeah, I know. So I got some points here, guys. But,
When your hips get crushed.
oh yeah, when your hips get crushed. So when your hips get crushed here, guys, I still would try to invert, all right? If I can. But if I can, if he's just too strong, what I'm going to be looking, guys, immediately going into defensive mode. All right? So my right hand is going to go on his gi pants. If there's no gi pants, I will push away. And I'm going to kick my left leg through. Because what I'm looking to do is to try to get my right shin in. If I can do this, guys, I can go back to guard. I can regain guard. But sometimes things are not that easy. So as this happens, he's shut down. There is no gap. Okay? So I will still shoot my left leg through because now I'm bottom of cross side. And I'm going to look to, stop moving before, I'm trying to explain this stuff to people. If you keep moving, I'm going to have to go after you. Stop explanation. So now what I'm looking for, right? He's dominating my shoulder line. He's pretty much, most of his weight is on my shoulder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release his arm and bump up. I know there will be an adjustment, and I'm going back into regard. Okay? The point of the story is that if you start moving, I will apply pressure. The point of the story is, guys, you're going from offensive to defensive. Okay, see what happens when you throw numbers around? I can't think. So understand that once your hips get crushed and there is no space, you have to go, and this is a very important point, is if my hips get crushed in a kind of a, like where my mobility is impacted and there is no room for me to invert underneath him, I have to go into defensive mode. I'm immediately switching from attack, sweep, or submission to defense, bottom of cross side, because if I switch my defensive from offensive aspect to defensive aspect right away, before he has a chance to consolidate that top position, I'm already off balancing him, knowing fully well that that's probably not going to work, but he's going to make an adjustment. If he doesn't make an adjustment, if he just persists with that, so right now he shut me down. So I'm shooting his, so I'm scissoring my legs, and then I'm gonna, if I stay here, I'm gonna get choked. But I'm here only temporarily. I'm bumping, guys, and I slide down. If he doesn't really make a major correction, I'm gonna arm lock the daylights out of him. But I know that he's gonna make some correction. Oh, I got a chance here. So it becomes a bit of a scramble where I'm looking to regard. And you know what happens as soon as I regard? We're going back into an offensive mode. Okay? So that my transition from defensive or offensive mode into defensive mode is almost instantaneous. And the other way around again. And I'd encourage you guys as you progress through the ranks to start to think about that. That is the whole point. One of the points of Fluid BJJ. It's a play on words. It's almost like a style of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna set my things and I'm gonna choke. Oh, you took it away from me. Doesn't matter. I'll rip your head off. My style, my approach is more okay. I attacked, you took it away from me, you give me this. Oh, now you took that away from me, I have to go defensive mode, I off balance you, I regard, and boom, I'm already going after you again. All right? And usually when you approach things in that way, submissions just appear out of nowhere. It's not really nowhere, you're creating the opportunities, all right? Do we have any questions, Mike, before I assume we're pretty close to out of time.
And lots of peers asking, can't you sweep him by catching his leg and roll back and end up above him?
From where?
Your hips getting crushed. So I think he's asking if you could go from that position into the sweep that you did earlier.
No. That's the whole point. That's the top guy. Guys, it's very difficult to sweep somebody once your hips get compromised. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult because your hips, for sweeps, if you especially sweeping somebody bigger than you want to create off balance on their part, and you've got to create off balance and a proper angle. By crushing your hips, you kind of lost your ability to off balance them, especially with the lower part of the body. So you're basically losing, and also your mobility is impacted. So both off balancing them and creating a proper angle is compromised. It's not impossible, but they're both compromised. So that's why, like, once I start to lose it, he passes my guard, I'm switching to just off balancing the upper body, knowing that he will make the adjustment. If he doesn't, I will arm lock him. But they will make the adjustment, but as they're making the adjustments, I'm already attempting to regard. And we're out of time. Mike is pointing to like, share, subscribe, tag,
Follow.
friend or foe? Friend or follow. We'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 62, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Guys, stay well, stay safe, be nice to others, and be considerate. If you're considerate, guys, if you use your brain, use common sense. I know it's not that common. So use your heads for jiu-jitsu and use your heads for thinking too. It's going to make this thing go by, get away from us or get control better and faster.